Right, I just thought I'd explain how I got my motorcycle shots. My camera was only supplied with the normal waterproof case, which hasn't got holes in the side to enable you to plug in, although they do make a skeleton case with holes, which of course won't be totally waterproof, though it will be pretty much splash proof. So I used a completely open frame. This is they call it a backpack clip open frame, but of course no good in the rain. And I have used a male version of one of these. They supplied the female version, but it would have been good if they'd supplied the male version, because I used that on there, which means you can screw in, if I can do it. I used a male one on that, which means I can screw into the bottom of that, and also on the slave cam, which has got a tripod socket in the bottom. I used a male one there. Plus I used a handlebar mount. They supply one. All it needs really is a standoff and a male tripod mount. So that's how I did that. The slave camera actually comes supplied with this mount, which is designed to stick on. And looking at the size of it, and I think you have to slide the cable all the way through because this end's slimmer. So easy enough to mount it by sticking on, or alternatively, as I say, if you find yourself a male version of the one they supplied, you can screw it straight on. And these kind of bits and pieces are easily found very cheaply on Amazon and so on. You'll notice also that it's got another LED there, if I didn't mention that, so you can see on that whether it's flashing or not. Now the other thing I noticed is this actually turns in the mount, so you can point it where you want. Plus, as you saw, I tried to do a bit of motorcycle vlogging. There is an external mic available for this as an optional extra, which is why I've got two things plugged in here. Now the external mic plugs into the normal USB, and of course the slave camera plugs into the one marked GPS camera. And it was a lot of wires trailing around, which is why I've got rubber bands everywhere, trying to keep these things out of the wheels. I guess if you were going to do it permanently, you'd mount it and run the cable somewhere. But it was a bit of a game, really. Plus my mounts kept slipping, but we'll see what the footage is like. As I mentioned on my vlogging, I think you probably have to link the clips or put picture in picture using an edit suite. The good thing was, because it's got the flashing lights, it was easy enough for me to look in my wing mirror and see whether or not I was recording. The external mic I just clipped onto the foam on the inside of my flip-up helmet, so we'll see what the sound quality was like from that. Plus you'll notice I tried the slave in a few different positions. We'll see what the vibration was like. It's of course a less wide angle lens, and of course when you're using these you're recording at 1080-30, although the gyro was on, so we'll see how well that dealt with vibration from the slave and from the G3. It was a very cold, windy day too, so there might be more wind noise. And as I mentioned in my introduction to the camera, what the camera's actually doing is recording two separate streams, one from this camera and one from that. So when you're editing, it does give you a choice of using two different points of view, even if you're not able to do picture in picture with your edit suite. It means you can have the front view, back view or whatever, as you will see when I try and cobble together an edit of this. So let's get on with looking at the clips. Right, well, this is the G3 Duo with two cameras, and I'm using the external mic to try and see what it's like for a bit of vlogging. This is with the visor open. Only thing is, with all these cables, it's very hard to keep cameras pointing the right way, but we'll see what happens. Probably stop and test it in a minute and see which way the actual camera on my helmet's pointing. Right, and this is with the visor closed, which probably sounds better because there'll be less motorcycle noise. So a lot of people are interested in vlogging on motorcycles. You can use the external mic of the G2 with the G3 or the G2. For the moment, the camera down there is the slave camera. It's pointing vaguely where I want it to. They just keep turning around. It's very tricky. And as far as I can see, the camera on my helmet's pointing the right way. Don't know if you can see it there. And the light's flashing, so I know it's recording. The light's flashing on the slave as well. but it's cold and my visor's steaming up, so I'm going to have to open it a bit. Right, that's opening the visor a little crack because otherwise it's steaming up. Doorway there, I don't know if you can see it from my helmet. Not quite sure which way the camera's pointing. But I'm going to go up through the woods towards Berry Head because it might be a bit more interesting for the cameras than just driving around on the road here. Okay, so up through the woods to Berry Head, or towards Berry Head. Can't actually going to go out to the headland. Just going to see what these kind of different views give you. Let it get ahead because I don't want the car in front of me. Just, oh, now some sunshine. Okay, bit of sunshine here. Slave is still pointing the right way. Now, incidentally, on the camera you can have picture in picture, but I think when you actually open it, it's two files. Thank you for your signal, madam. When you open it, it's two files, so you need to actually put picture in picture in your editing software. As far as I know, anyway, that's as much as I know. I've asked Git to if you can export in a picture in picture format, but I don't think you can. Right, I'm going to pull over into the car park and turn the slave round so it's pointing backwards. Sun's out, so it's brought the tourists out. Not as busy as in summer, that's for sure. I might click on the phone just inside my helmet here. That's going to be right. Right, and up through the woods again, but with a different aspect. As I mentioned, you get picture in picture on the camera screen, but as far as I know, to actually create picture in picture, you'll need to do it in your edit software. And I use Sony Vegas Pro, which enables me really to put multiple images in. I don't know if GitUp, the company, plan to produce anything that will make picture in picture easier. I'm taking it nice and slow up here because you often meet vehicles coming the other way. And again, I'm using the optional external mic. so we can see how well it works for vlogging, which is voice logging on a motorcycle, I think. But look at this lovely sunshine for November. Just a shame it's a bit cold. Take it slow here because there's gravel in the middle of the road. Tell you what, we go a bit further with this ride, if the light's still flashing. And there's a family out there enjoying their bicycles. And they've got helmets on, good for them. Right, the entrance to the fort.